A strange sight was captured on the Ring camera of a person's house in Hawaii. When he checked the footage in the morning to investigate a noise from the night before, he saw an entity trying to enter his house that looked exactly like a zombie. Frightened, he alerted the authorities. The creature was never seen again, leaving behind an unsolved mystery. Zombies, once considered purely fictional characters, have now left people questioning their existence. A man was heading home in South America when he noticed something strange. He realized that something creepy was following him. At first he ignored it, but the thing kept getting closer and closer. He didn't think twice and ran to save himself. He wasn't the only witness. Another neighbor, who was recording videos of trees nearby, also saw it and captured the incident. The creepy creature looked like an alien wearing a three-piece suit, almost as if it were trying to study human civilization in order to overtake it. He kept following him, and no one knows what happened after that. A man saw something that made him question reality itself. A figure stood at the edge of the woods, its body human-like, yet its face defied any natural explanation. Some locals claimed it was a skinwalker, while skeptics argued it might be a primitive human, or something entirely different. The figure appeared briefly, then vanished, as if it had never been there. In Ohio, two friends witnessed something that seemed ripped straight from a sci-fi movie. A massive, dark alien spaceship was moving slowly just above the ground, extremely close to them. Blue lights were glowing from it, but the craft itself was so dark they couldn't clearly see its full shape. What shocked them most was how something that huge could fly so low without making chaos. They just stood there, completely stunned, watching it pass. Eventually, it moved away into the darkness. But one thing felt certain to them. Visitors may be arriving from outer space. Turning from the hills in Peru, a hiker noticed something unusual in the city sky. Multiple red, disc-shaped objects were hovering above, appearing and disappearing. It all felt unreal. Then, one tiny glowing orb drifted down near the ground, moving slowly, as if searching for something. The hiker watched nervously, unsure what he was witnessing. After a while, the objects vanished one by one. They left as suddenly as they came. But the biggest question remained. What exactly were they looking for? A disc-shaped object drifted silently, glowing and unmistakably looking like a UFO. Blamed the government, claiming they were hiding the truth about UFOs. Others were simply worried, wondering why something like this was appearing over a populated city. Whatever the reason, the clip left viewers stunned, questioning what really hovers above our cities when no one's looking.
Carries the head of a bull. Long curved horns, thick skull, elongated muzzle. Yet the bodies are human. Upright posture, muscular backs, arms relaxed at their sides. Some carry staffs as if on a long journey. The group moves together with an unhurried rhythm, step after step along the slope. The scene instantly brings to mind the Minotaur of Greek mythology, the bull-headed being associated with ancient Crete. But unlike the solitary monster of legend, here there are several of them, walking like members of a tribe rather than creatures trapped in a labyrinth. The strangest detail is how natural the movement looks, as if these figures have walked this valley countless times before.
Another sighting of a creature, one previously thought to exist only in myths, was captured in the forests of Alaska. A man decided to record his field after noticing that his crops were being stolen, and what he captured amazed everyone. He saw a field goblin trying to steal from his crops. When he tried to frighten it away, the goblin behaved aggressively, and no one knows what happened afterward.
Friends. The creator's off? Him. Where's an upgrade? Humans do for an upgrade, evolution hasn't. Part of it.
You asked them how many people are part of that program, John?
2/3.
2/3 of humanity?
Yes. Varying degrees.
How many are directly being involved with this program? In terms of abduction?
1/3.
1/3.
Yeah.
They're saying that 1/3 of humans
Yes.
get involved in an induction program
Yes.
in the current. Of all the people on Earth, currently 1/3 get involved.
Yes. These chemical gateways to block the memory. Well, my accident's broken the gateway.
And
I had an accident 6 months ago.
A red humanoid figure with only one eye, staring straight at them. This incident raised hundreds of theories on the internet. Some said it was the Antichrist, while others believed it was an alien trying to adapt to a human form, but not quite succeeding yet. No clear explanation was ever given. But one thing is certain, that the sight was truly horrifying. Collecting firewood, a man spotted a Jersey devil standing directly in front of him. The creature remained there for several seconds before vanishing into the woods. Some dismissed it as a hoax, but others believe this may be the most convincing footage of a massive devil ever larger than any normal insect crawling along his wall. Its enormous wings and long legs cast strange shadows in the dim light, and its movements seemed deliberate, almost aware of his presence. Moments later, the creature disappeared as suddenly as it appeared, leaving the man shaken, yet fascinated. Some locals speculate it could be a cryptid, while others think it might be a mutation or an unknown species. Either way, the footage left viewers uneasy. A green disc-shaped UFO was spotted gliding silently over a city in Iraq. Recorded far from city lights, the object pulsed with light. It made sudden directional changes and bursts of speed, clearly unlike satellites, planes, or drones. Locals had never seen anything like it before, and were left completely baffled. Since that night, the UFO hasn't been seen. A farmer was working in his fields one evening when something strange caught his eye. Up in the sky, a UFO hovered in one spot, spinning slowly. Bright colors were flashing from it, almost like it was scanning the ground below. It didn't move away. It just stayed there, watching. The farmer became scared and hid in the fields. After some time, he carefully escaped from there because he was afraid that the UFO might out the window. A glowing disc-shaped object was flying casually alongside the plane.
Nossa!
It wasn't far away. It was right there, matching the aircraft's speed. He was stunned. There was no confusion in his mind about what he was seeing. This wasn't a reflection or another plane. After a few moments, the object suddenly moved away and vanished. For him, that sighting brought unexpected clarity to his research.
So that thing is going to the...
Back in 2020, a mythical creature known as the Yeti was seen in the forests of Hawaii. The sighting was captured on a Ring doorbell camera. The Yeti was trying to eat something from their dog's bowl and vanished into the woods as soon as it noticed the camera. The owners were terrified and alerted the authorities, but it was never found. To this day, no one knows where it is. But the frightening truth is, they do exist. A police officer encountered something truly terrifying. He claimed to see Bigfoot crossing the road directly in front of his car. Frozen with fear, he chose not to move, hoping to remain unnoticed. Thankfully, he was unharmed. But the encounter leaves behind a chilling thought. What we dismiss as myths may actually be real. He set up a trail, and we just don't know it. But what it captured shocked him. The footage showed the mythical being, Bigfoot. Filled with fear, he alerted the authorities and left the area immediately, never daring to return to that place again. A man witnessed something unbelievable in his own yard, something no one had ever seen before. He saw a mutant looking directly toward his doorbell camera. The creature was wearing a mask that looked exactly like Pennywise. No one ever discovered where it came from or where it went. It simply vanished into the woods, leaving behind an unsolved mystery that still unsettles people today. Probably heard of Three-Eye Atlas, but a similar shaped object was recently spotted in Florida. It wasn't as big, but the shape was almost identical. Its lights blinked briefly, and it didn't rise high into the sky. It appeared only for a few seconds, as if it suddenly materialized. Then, just as quickly, it vanished. Many are wondering if there could be a connection to Three-Eye Atlas, like a smaller scout, or some link to that mysterious spaceship. A bizarre UFO was spotted, a shape never seen before, tiny and rocket-shaped, with a glowing object hovering above. Possibly a camera or something else. It remained in the same spot for a while, before vanishing. Locals were left stunned. Whatever it was, something unusual was clearly happening that night. and no one has any idea what exactly passed silently through Miami
While walking
skies.
in the forest near his house, a man saw someone crawling in the middle of nowhere. As he got closer, he was horrified to discover a demonic creature staring straight into his eyes. He did what anyone would do in that situation. He ran away without wasting another moment. To this day, no one knows what that creature was. A pale or animal-like figure moving silently through the thick undergrowth. Its body resembled that of an animal, but its face was disturbingly human, giving the impression of something caught between worlds. Surrounding it was a thin, swirling mist that seemed to react to its movements, drifting like a living presence. Some locals claim these woods are haunted by spirits, while others insist shapeshifters or unknown cryptids roam here at night. Whatever it was, the footage leaves one uneasy thought, that the forest hides secrets that may never be uncovered. A huge ring-shaped UFO was seen crashing from the sky. It was unusually big and glowing. It looked like it had malfunctioned, but surprisingly, before it could crash, it disappeared. No one understood what actually happened. When he spotted this huge, disc-shaped object just floating above the rooftops, it seemed to have this weird glow coming from inside and wasn't moving at all. He started filming it because it was totally silent, nothing like the sounds you'd expect from a plane. Then, out of nowhere, a thin beam of light shot down to the ground, kind of pulsating, like it was checking things out. A lot of folks agreed it looked nothing like a normal aircraft, and everyone was left scratching their heads about what it really was. Near a building, a glowing object shot across the sky. Within seconds, another zoomed past at full speed. At that speed, it was impossible to see their shapes clearly. They left behind a mystery about what they were. Towering clouds had formed the shape of a giant cross with Jesus on it. Some froze, others whispered prayers, unable to look away. When the footage went online, viewers were stunned. Many said it resembled Jesus. For some, the moment felt like a powerful sign, leaving the cloud had formed into a figure that looked like a human, with large wings extending on both sides. Even the feather details were visible, which made it stand out from normal clouds.
That's unreal. It's like it's carved out of light.
Oh, you can see the whole figure.
Later that evening, near the same spot, a faint figure appeared, slowly rising into the sky. It was huge and had a clear human-like shape, but definitely otherworldly. Many couldn't stop talking about how unusual it was to see something so human-shaped floating in the sky. Maybe this was one of the clearest angel sightings we have witnessed. A faint shape appeared that almost looked human. Holding what seemed like a stick, with light wing-like outlines behind it. The figure moved slowly, just above the electricity wires for a moment. Then a sudden flash lit up the scene, and the shape was gone, almost like the light had wiped it out. There was no doubt, it was an angel. CCTV captured a sight that frightened the locals. In the middle of the night, a flying object appeared from the sky, seemingly landing in the nearby woods. Red lights were coming from it. This was a strange event because the next day, when locals checked the area, they found nothing unusual. The mystery remains. What could have been behind this sudden appearance? And where did the object go? A huge saucer-shaped object appeared in the sky. The craft didn't drop anything or cause any damage, but just its sudden appearance freaked them out, and they took off running. The video eventually made its way online, showing that quick moment before they panicked. People started debating whether it was staged or real. But the way the teens reacted, chaos became the main thing. Glowing objects were moving together across the sky.
Look, y'all thought I was playing. I know y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not the little ones because my little mirror thing.
At first, he thought they might be drones. But as he kept watching, it became clear they weren't. Their movements were too coordinated, too deliberate, almost as if they were observing everything below. The three orbs floated silently, mysterious and otherworldly. The sight left him shocked, making him wonder if these were not just lights, but visitors from beyond our world keeping a careful watch.
Look at that. Them cloud lines are moving.
A thin humanoid figure emerges from the lake bed. The ribs are sharply visible beneath pale skin stretched across the torso. The head is narrow with a mouth filled with needle-like teeth, one yellow. Eye reflects the diver's light, while the other remains in shadow. Along the sides of its neck extend thin whisker-like appendages moving gently in the water. One arm grips the lake bed, while the other slides through the plants. Behind the creature, a long tail fin curves upward, hinting at powerful swimming muscles. The design resembles no known species, yet strangely echoes the Japanese folklore creature called a kappa, a water being said to lurk in rivers and ponds. But this creature looks far more predatory than the playful kappa of legend. The diver's light flickers across its face. For a second, the creature looks directly at the camera.
Campers in remote forests have shared terrifying footage of a creature with a demonic face and the body of a reptile. Witnesses describe it as scaly, with glowing eyes and claws sharp enough to leave marks, appearing only when they are alone. It moves silently, sometimes watching from the shadows, disappearing before anyone can get close. Some believe it's a lost cryptid. Others whisper about demonic or extraterrestrial origins. The footage has spread online, sparking heated debate.
A small figure sits crouched on a rock near the water. Its body is thin with visible ribs beneath gray skin that looks almost wet. The ears stretch outward into long, pointed shapes. The eyes glow yellow in the dim light, reflecting directly toward the camera. One hand rests on the rock, while the other moves slowly, fingers long and jointed with dark claws. The creature doesn't rush forward. Instead, it watches quietly, tilting its head slightly, as if studying the person filming. The scene resembles old Scandinavian folklore about trolls living beneath bridges and guarding river crossings. For centuries, those stories were treated as simple fairy tales told to children. But this creature's posture and anatomy feel strangely believable, less like a costume, more like an animal adapted to damp underground spaces.
A man in Texas had a piece of glass, and he casually held it up to the sky. Through the glass, he saw a UFO hovering above.
Off.
He was stunned, but the real twist came next. When he looked at the same spot without the glass, the sky was completely clear.
Вот такая вот хуйня. Оп. И все. Обычное небо, обычные люди.
This makes you wonder, could they be anywhere around us, invisible to the naked eye, only appearing when certain conditions stayed still, but no one could make out its shape?
Familia, sí existen los ovnis.
One concerned local even reported it to the authorities, but surprisingly, the response was nothing. No one seemed interested, and it was quickly brushed off. Was it really a visitor from outer space? Or did the authorities already know more than they were letting on?
The creature crouches near the flames, with both hands stretched toward the warmth. His body is unmistakably human in shape, yet scaled far beyond normal proportions. The shoulders are wide, the arms thick, the torso massive. Rough leather clothing wraps around his waist and legs. When he leans forward, the firelight reveals enormous fingers turning a stick over the flames, as if roasting something. What makes the moment eerie is the calmness of it all. The giant isn't roaring or chasing anyone. He's simply sitting there like a traveler resting after a long journey. Smoke from the fire drifts upward, while the forest remains completely silent around him. Legends of enormous beings appear across many cultures, but the scene here feels closest to the Jötnar of Norse mythology. Giants said to live far from human settlements in remote wilderness. The upper body resembles a human woman. Shoulders, arms, and a face framed by dark hair moving in the wind. But below the waist, the anatomy changes into that of a bird. Feathered wings stretch outward from the shoulders, broad and layered, each feather shifting naturally with the sea breeze. The legs end in talons, gripping the rock, while the creature leans forward slightly, balancing against the wind coming from the ocean. For several seconds, it simply stands there, staring toward the water as if guarding the coastline. Ancient Greek texts describe beings called harpies, winged creatures with the body of a bird and the face of a woman that were said to appear near cliffs and stormy seas.
This fresh crack in the ground. When he leaned in and shined a small LED torch inside, he claimed he saw something. I could see a human-like form, only this was much smaller, he said. His first thought was that, well, it might be a child's body, until he realized it was too small, and more importantly, it had what appeared to be wings. He carefully pulled it out using a stick and placed it in a dog waste bag.
He noticed something glowing on a tree. Out of curiosity, he zoomed in and realized it was a fairy resting on a branch. This went viral, sparking hundreds of thoughts. Maybe all the things we once considered myths and fiction really exist. He immediately recorded the creature, which was wandering on the road, seemingly searching for something. The car was moving, so the view wasn't clear. But the being looked otherworldly, maybe even demonic. Panicked, the man drove away. But what happened afterward? A very strange creature was captured on a trail camera. A pale, animal-like being can be seen for a brief moment. Its movements resembled those of an animal, but its appearance matched what people describe as a skinwalker. It remained for a few seconds before vanishing into the woods. To this day, no one truly knows what it was or where it came from. A video showed a priest standing with a group of people while giving them blessings. Partway through, the priest began to glow, a soft light surrounding him completely. The glow made the whole scene feel unreal, and the people around him paused, watching quietly. It stayed for a few moments before fading, leaving the priest looking normal again. Even after the light disappeared, the calm and strange feeling lingered, and everyone seemed to notice something unusual had just happened. During what had started as a simple blessing, a man spotted something that immediately made him pause. Up above, the clouds had shaped themselves into a faint but unmistakable figure, eerily resembling the image of Jesus. When he shared the footage, viewers couldn't believe how precise it looked, far beyond any ordinary cloud formation. People were left in awe, debating whether it was just a natural coincidence or something extraordinary unfolding right before their eyes. Appeared among the trees. It seemed almost like a wave of light hovering in the air, shifting gently as if it had just arrived. The figure moved slowly, completely luminous. By the time the clip ended, it had faded almost seamlessly into the background, leaving the forest looking inside a church and peaceful. A glowing, human-shaped figure appeared, catching everyone's attention. The light clearly formed a person-like shape, moving gently across the space. It stayed visible for a few moments, and then disappeared quietly. The scene didn't have any sound or sudden movement, just a soft glow against the walls. It looked unusual compared to the normal lighting in the church, leaving an impression that something out of the ordinary had briefly appeared without changing anything else around it. A bizarre sight appeared in the sky, and people couldn't look away. Crowds on the streets froze, phones raised, as a bright light slowly shaped itself into something massive above the city.
Oh, blessed Jesus, look at that. How many?
The figure became more defined with each passing second, and whispers spread many claimed it looked like an angel ascending into the clouds. Though the vision lasted only briefly, it was enough to leave everyone speechless, capturing a moment that would be remembered and shared. The man was recording on a cloudy day when he noticed something unusual in the sky. Among the gray clouds, a figure with flapping wings. At first, he thought it might be a bird, but it didn't behave like any bird he had seen. The figure hovered behind the clouds, and its shape looked surprisingly human. He couldn't stop watching, feeling that it was unlike anything ordinary in the sky. A storm briefly revealed a giant humanoid shape in the sky. It looked like it had wings, but didn't move at all. The figure appeared only for a few seconds before fading. Those who noticed it stayed quiet, just watching. It didn't look like any cloud or usual shape, and the brief sight left a strange, quiet feeling hanging in the air. This man captured a sight no one was expecting to see. A humanoid figure was floating above, and its cloak moved slowly, like waves in the wind. There was a soft light coming from it, rising gently, almost like an angel. People standing nearby just stared, wondering what they were seeing. It hung there for a little while, then disappeared quietly. Even after it was gone, everyone kept looking up, trying to make sense of what had just happened over Thailand, and the footage had everyone in awe. From one angle, it looked like a serene figure just chilling on the cloud. But from another angle, it became clear it was more than just a person. It really looked like an angel, floating above the world. Watching the clip, a lot of people felt like this wasn't just some random cloud. It was an angel showing off for a brief, as a thunderstorm rolled over the buildings, a flash of lightning briefly revealed a giant humanoid shape high in the sky. The figure didn't move at all, even when the thunder lit up the clouds around it. Whatever that shape was, the storm only revealed it for a moment. They grabbed the camera and zoomed in, revealing a figure that looked like a person with wings. The figure moved slowly upward, staying visible for a few moments. Everyone watching was quiet, taking in what they saw. The shape stood out clearly against the sky, and its slow movement made the moment feel strange, but calm, as if the figure had simply appeared there for no obvious reason. Tower flying figure. A couple in India was recording their moments when something unexpected appeared in the background. A humanoid figure seemed to fly right beside the tower before quickly dashing toward the other side. Its movement was fast and smooth, almost as if it was gliding. The figure vanished just as suddenly as it appeared, The clip left a quiet sense of wonder, showing how strange and unseen things can sometimes happen right above us. In a white dress showed up, and it looked like it had wings. It floated down and landed softly, moving in this totally strange way. Then, out of nowhere, some bizarre creatures came out of it and charged straight at the camera.